Almost AI agency owners are fighting for their life to make $500 or $1,000 on the same innate in automations that everyone on YouTube talks about. My agency is able to charge $10,000 upfront, time and time again. I just pulled this from our Stripe account. And in this video, I'm going to show you our entire client acquisition process and even a little bit of what the offer looks like so you guys can replicate my success. Now, there's three different ways you could go about acquiring a client. Number one is going to be through cold outreach. Number two is going to be through organic content. And number three is going to be through paid ads. Cold outreach is a complete waste of time. Okay. You're going to send 100 DMs per day and maybe get 10 responses. And that's if you're lucky, like really lucky. So, like, in my opinion, it's not worth doing. You'll never get a cold DM from Microsoft. No large company does this. So, it's just not worth doing for you. Now, organic content, you could post 2 to 3 pieces of content per week minimum, and it requires you to be good in front of the camera. Now, this can work. I'm not going to sit here and say it can't work. I've had it work great for me. So just posting YouTube videos, it could be raw breakdowns like this, or you could do shorter content like Instagram Reels, where it's 60-second videos targeted at an HVAC company, for example, trying to talk about AI systems and educate them. So this can work if you're good in front of the camera. But by far, the best way to get clients, the way that I get 90% of my clients, basically every single screenshot you see right here, it all came from paid ads. So that's running ads specifically on Meta or Google. But in today's video, we're just going to talk about Meta because, in my opinion, it's better for beginners. Now, all we do is we create simple AI ads and we get predictable lead flow. And once we get that predictable lead flow, we close the lead flow. It's really that simple. So, you might ask why what type of ads do you run? Well, I'm a big believer in the idea of you don't want to innovate, you just want to imitate. Go find stuff that already works and bring it over. So, for example, I'm in the Facebook ads library. If you guys have never heard of the ads library, basically how it works is every single person who markets on Meta, meaning Facebook or Instagram, they have to have their ads listed here. Like it automatically uploads them all here. So, for example, I can go here and I can type in roofing leads. So as you can see right here, it instantly loaded a bunch of different ads that mention the term roofing leads. So if somebody's talking about roofing leads, you can probably make the assumption they're selling to a roofing company. So right here, we can just scroll through and we'll find a bunch of ads by our competitors and we can click this to watch
Just
them.
give us one good storm.
Roofers, if you feel like you've got to do a rain dance just to keep your crews busy, then the weather's
That's actually an AI generated ad, which is pretty funny. That's how we make all of our ads as well. But like, here goes another one. This is one where he's like kind of just sitting at his desk.
In HVAC, plumbing, and roofing, scaling usually means hiring. With WiseWork AI, every call gets answered, every customer gets followed up with, every lead gets contacted.
So for example, that's another ad. So what I'll do is I'll just sit on Facebook ads library and I'll type in different terms like roofing leads, HVAC leads, etc. So I can find companies, competitors, and then I'll just find ads that I think will work well. And then I'll go to a platform called arcads.ai. So for example, let's just say I wanted to go with this person, this guy that we just watched that was like sitting at his desk. I would take this video and you're able to actually open it up, see all the details, and you can download this entire video, copy the ad link, and then you can go on Google and just type in Facebook ad library downloader and you'll find a free downloading tool. So you can download this video. And then once you have this video downloaded, you can just take the transcription. So I'll copy and paste the transcription straight into ArcAds right where I'm typing right here. And then all I have to do is I have to press add actors. And then I have a full library of AI actors. Every type of person you can imagine, young, old, male, female, etc. You just pick the actors that you want. And you can even do multiple ones. Like if you want to have Charlotte right here,
welcome to our cat.
and then you also want to
Hey,
have
you, welcome
Thomas, then you can do that. And, for example, if we're just doing like a roofing company, I found in the home service industries, attractive women happen to work the absolute best out of all AI actors. So that's usually what I would go with here. So for example, we're just going to pick the first one, Helen, press add actors. And then right here, like I said, we'll take that ad that we just got, this guy's ad right here, we'll transcribe it. And then once we have that transcription, we're just going to plug it straight into ArcAds AI. And then just like that, we'll have an entire video generated. And yeah, that's just how we make all of our ads, honestly. We don't go out and try to innovate, we just imitate what already works. Now, once we generate a lead, we obviously need to send them to a sales funnel. So this is the exact sales funnel we're using right now. A big niche that I've been going after lately is the medical space. So obviously this sales funnel is medical related, but basically what it is there is just a VSL video. So that's called a video sales letter, just a short video where we basically give them information on the opportunity. Headline up here, and then down here we actually have the survey that we want them to fill out, so then we can get their contact information. Now, you might wonder, why are you promising 150 appointments in 90 days on a pay on result basis? Obviously, this is not actually what we sell. We sell a $10,000 upfront offer, but this just gets our foot in the door. You have to have something enticing on the front end to get people to want to do the survey. If the survey said, hey, by the way, you're going to have to pay me $10,000, nobody's going to opt into that because nobody wants to be sold to and nobody wants to pay $10,000 up front. But my salespeople can convince people to do that. So it's all about opening the floodgates and getting as many people onto that calendar as possible. So inside of this video, it's pretty simple. I actually left the script right here so we can check it out. Essentially, all it is, and I give this to members of my private one-on-one mentorship program as well. It's a very simple script. So you're just like, your niche business owners, like dental business owners. If you're watching this, you're probably wondering one of these three things. How exactly does the funnel work? Blah, blah, blah. How did the system help client one and client two generate money, etc.? So right here, all this VSL script, and I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing because that would take a little bit of time, but you guys can pause it and you guys can read through it. But this is the exact script that woman that you just saw is actually reading on this page. So it is word for word the exact same one we're using right now. I just obviously templatized it so then you guys can just fill in the blanks where it's bolded. But yeah, it's very simple. You're just starting off by like hooking them in by saying, hey, you're probably watching this for one of these three reasons. You introduce yourself, and then you talk about some people you've worked with if you have current case studies and testimonials, and then you call out who this is for. So saying, hey, it's for the starter businesses, for the businesses in the second revenue range, it's for the CEOs doing over $200,000 per month. And then you go into talking about exactly what you're doing with your AI system, pitching, booking them, booking a free consultation. And then the final thing is, of course, walking them through what it'll actually look like if we did work together. So very simple video sales letter, and it just convinces people to fill out the survey below. Now, in all honesty, most of the questions on the survey are completely useless. We just kind of have filler questions. But the reason we have filler questions is because if the second they clicked on the survey, it's instantly like, how much money do you have to invest? How much money are you making? Nobody's going to want to fill that out because it feels like you're just trying to understand stuff about their business so then you can sell them. So we ask a bunch of filler questions like, how many patients can you handle per month? How long have you been in business? What state are you located in for HIPAA compliance? Blah, blah, blah. Just like random questions. So then we can get them to be truthful on the questions that matter to us, which is how much money are you making? And ultimately deciding if they're qualified. Now, assuming the business is qualified, meaning, for us, they have at least $2,000 cash on hand, we will send them to the second page, which is just a simple calendar booking page. So speak with one of our strategists on exactly how we can fill your calendar with financially qualified patients. So right here, they just put this in. And then once they book the call, they're sent to a pre-call page. So this is actually my closer. So this is the guy that takes all the sales calls for me. And he just films basically a 4-minute video, just giving them a bunch of information. And we kind of frame it as allowing them to do their due diligence. Because the last thing a business wants is to feel like they're being forced into a transaction or anything like that. So we basically just spend 4 minutes talking about, hey, here's some case studies. Here's what it looks like to work with us. Almost imagine like a heavy reiteration on the VSL script that I was just showing you guys. So pretty much this exact same thing, but we're just diving a little bit more deeper than we would in that VSL video. And then under this video as well, we also just have a little thing telling people to go and open their email and accept the counter invitation so that they confirm the call. Now, once that call is booked, we are obviously going to have a 24-hour reminder that goes and sends out, and it also includes free values. So like a big PDF document or something where it's like, this 4-step system to scale your clinic in 2026. And honestly, we just use Claude AI to generate that. So just like some AI generated free value on a 24-hour reminder then we have a 1 hour reminder, and we have a 10-minute reminder. And then we take that discovery call. So the first call that we have in the process, it's a two-call close. Number one is the discovery call, and then number two is the demo call. So the whole point of the discovery call is to, number one, discover, self-explanatory, but it's true. So just figuring out exactly where they are in business, double checking their answers that they put on that initial survey to make sure that is truthful and they didn't just put like random BS on the survey. Then we qualify them, once again, making sure they are financially qualified. For us, that means they have at least $2,000 cash on hand, because even if we can't sell them one of our $10,000 systems, we have cheaper systems that will always sell to a business as well. And then assuming those two things are true, meaning they are actually a good fit, meaning they could work with us and see good results, and then they do have the money to pay us to work with us, we will book them into a call. And then we go into pre-call framing. So pre-call framing is stuff that happens on that call after you book. So like before you hang up the phone. And by the way, guys, the discovery call is all done on phone. It's not a Zoom call or anything like that. So entire discovery call is done on the phone. You're just pre-framing the next call. So pre-framing the demo call. Like, hey, on this call, I'm going to give you loads of value. I'm going to give you a custom game plan to really help you get the most out of the system. Basically just hyping them up for the next call. And in a perfect world, the guy doing your discovery call is a different guy than the guy doing your demo call, because that discovery call guy can put that demo guy on a huge pedestal. Man, you're going to be talking to our executive consultant, Jacob. He's going to be able to provide you so much value. Some of the most successful people that have worked with our companies, it's because of Jacob. He's been in this space for so long. Like, you can just hype him up and make him super excited to actually show up. Now, once that call is booked, meaning discovery call goes good, and you book them in for a Zoom demo call, so the next one's done on Zoom, we obviously send a 24-hour email and SMS, a 3-hour email and SMS, a 1-hour email and SMS, and then also a 10-minute email and SMS. But beyond these just basic reminders, just reminding people to show up, we also have something that I call a hammer them sequence. So what this is basically what we'll do is, outside of these preset reminders, we have a completely separate sequence that is just hammering them with value. So it's hammer them. You're just hammering the lead with as much value as you can before the demo call to nurture them up and get them ready to do a buying decision. And the reason we do this is, if you look at like the biggest companies in the world, like Disney Company, they don't make money on their little short 2-hour movies. Well, I guess that's a pretty long time, but they don't make money on those movies. They make money on people buying Disneyland tickets. But how do they convince people to go buy Disneyland tickets? Well, they don't have Disney sales reps. The movies sell for them. You start to know, like, and trust the Disney brand as you consume the content that they put out onto the internet or onto the TV, etc. So what we do is the same idea. We'll make a bunch of different pieces of value. Now, all this is sent through email, but the value is different. So, for example, email one might tell people to go watch a YouTube video. Email two, it could just be complete text for the people who hate to watch videos and would instead like to, just read stuff. The third one might be a PDF document. The fourth one might be another YouTube video. The next one might just be like a voice note. Essentially, what we're doing is we are giving them different forms of content consumption, because not everybody consumes content the same way. Older people like to read the newspaper, younger people usually don't. Just different ways of content consumption. So no matter how they like to consume content, there's content for them to consume, and they are nurtured up by the time they get on the sales call. Now, I went ahead and I templatized my presentation for my sales call as well. This is another thing I give to guys who work with me one-on-one. So this is the same pitch that we're actually using in the medical space right now, and I templatized this. Obviously, you put your logo up here, but we break it down into 3 steps. So we basically, and once again, you don't have to sell the exact same AI offer as me. I know this is more so about how to get clients, but this is the offer I sell. So we start with AI ads. So, if you guys remember, I was talking about arcads.ai. We do the exact same thing for our clients. So we'll just make a bunch of AI actor ads inside of Arcads, and we will run them for the client. So that's the first thing we explain here. And we actually have live links that we can click on the sales call to show them like a real example of what these AI ads look like. So my closer can just click these links and open it up. And we frame as, hey, we craft and run multiple AI ads to build your business as an authority in your space. Now, once we get them to click on the ads, we direct them to a simple custom page to vet, educate, and pre-sell. And we also explain how X works. So, if you're selling the roofing companies, for example, how the shingle replacement will work, how long it'll take for us to do the job, etc. So right here, we just have an example page. Once again, we're selling to medical clinics a lot, so that's what this example is. So it's all like medical oriented, but basically you just have an example page of what a lead would see after they click on the AI ads that you make for the business. And of course, we have a video on there too. And we also have a link down here for people to click to show them what the page looks like as a live page. And then behind the scenes, we don't put this on the actual board, but we talk about it. We build an AI caller to call all the people who, for example, give you their information like name, email, and phone number, but don't self book with the business. So if somebody put in their name, email, and phone number to learn more about roofing for them, or like getting their roof replaced, but they don't book a sales call with a closer online, then we'll have an AI caller built on retail.ai actually call those leads and also set them into appointments. And the final thing we do, like I just mentioned, is we will place American closers to hop on the sales calls and take the appointments for the business. Now, this works great in the medical space, but obviously in the roofing space, this doesn't make sense. So instead, you would just change your offer to not include the online closing section, because most of that is like in-person sales. So that's basically what the pitch looks like when it comes to us hopping on sales calls. But the thing we also have on these sales calls is we'll go to like the biggest companies, consulting companies in the world, people like Boston Consulting Group or McKinsey and Company, and we'll go find their data. So for example, you can go type in Boston Consulting Group right here, and then you can type in AI research. And just like that, you'll be able to find loads of AI articles that you can pull data from. So for example, AI agents, you click right here. And then you'll find these full articles where they tell you about it, and they'll also give you data. If you scroll far enough, there should be data. Yeah, like for example, data, they're becoming more prolific across tech applications. So, like, you can go in and you can steal this data. Once again, we're not creating, we're not innovating, we're just imitating. So we're going to the large companies that are spending millions, if not billions of dollars to go out and do all these reports. And we'll take all these reports that they have and we'll just save them to our computer. So after we break down this pitch, if the business tries to, oh, I got to think about it, I got to make sure this will work, like, okay, well, I got all the data to show that it's going to work. I got all the data to show that AI is going to help your business. So it just proves them wrong. I kind of call this having a utility belt. So it's like if you guys have ever seen like a Batman movie, he has his belt on and he has all of his gadgets in the belt. Like this is like your fist. This is your main weapon right here, is this main sales pitch. But assuming things go south, you can start to pull out data and spreadsheets and, all this stuff that you can take from these large companies and then use this as your extra gadgets to help you actually close the deal. I do this, and that's how I basically close all of these $10,000 payments. I wish I could say it was as easy as showing this presentation, but sometimes having that extra data, having those gadgets, or would get you there. I know I mentioned it one or two times throughout this video, but I do run a private and one-on-one mentorship program. So the way it works is you join, and if you can't bring in your first 10 clients within 90 days, I will not only give you a 100% refund, but also send you $2,000 cash out of my own pocket for wasting your time. Basically, how it works is I templatize my entire AI agency, the same agency that got these payments that you're looking at in front of you right now. And all you got to do is kind of fill in the blanks. It's a very simple process. Like I said, alongside that, you also get one-on-one mentorship from me. So you basically get my personal phone number. You can text me whenever you have questions. I do 5 weekly Zoom calls where you can hop on and ask me any questions. So if that's even 1% interesting to you, click the top link in the description of this video to book a one-on-one game plan call, either with me personally or my business partner, where number one, we'll give you a bit of a game plan to help you launch and scale your own AI agency. But more importantly, see if I feel like you would be a fit for the one-on-one program. And if that's the case, I'll extend an invitation for you to join. So like I said, guys, if that's even 1% interesting, click that top link, book that game plan call, and I look forward to speaking with you guys there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.